Well. Wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Locker Talk Podcast, where you hear about NFL stars of tomorrow today. I'm your host, Barry Barnes, founder and CEO of Locker-Report.com. And make sure you guys go to the site. Check out the site with unique NFL news that you will not see anywhere else in the world. Right here, this big old blue thing is spinning around. You're not going to see it nowhere else. And also make sure you guys follow me on any one of my social handles on Twitter at Locker_Report. Instagram, Lock Report 100, all small caps. On Facebook, Lock Report 100, and also the Locker Talk Podcast on Facebook. But you know what to do.
Come on, man.
That's right. Come on, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the page on YouTube, Locker Talk Podcast. This is what it looks like. Make sure you go to it, find it, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys enjoy it so you always stay informed of the great NFL news that this site is always going to produce. And also, you guys can check me out on the Bachelor News Radio Network every Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Okay, folks. You know that the NFL season had ended with Super Bowl 55, and the best part about that particular weekend, I was able to cover it. My first time covering the Super Bowl, a fantastic ride. I really enjoyed it. A lot of great shots, a lot of great images, a lot of great experiences to be able to cover on that level. I covered many NFL games, title games, but the first Super Bowl, it was truly an honor and a privilege to be able to cover the first Super Bowl for Locker-Report.com. So we definitely was excited, looking forward to next year. Hopefully I have that privilege again sometime soon. But yes, I was in the house. Super Bowl 55 was a great time. Enjoyed that atmosphere. The Bucks, we all know, had won that, and the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, got and sealed his 7th Super Bowl ring in that matchup. But we're not going to talk about those guys because everybody else talk about them. I'm talking about the guys who came to the NFL Regional Combine platform, where these guys who once were unknown players but were able to do something great and going to these workouts, putting themselves in front of scouts to get to their dream of playing in the NFL. And the best part about it, not only these guys are making teams rosters, but they actually are putting in the work to become viable pieces for their teams to get to the Super Bowl. And to talk a little bit of history news dealing with the Regional Combine platform, leading all the way up to Super Bowl 55, that it was a streak that was started back from 2013, where at least, and this streak has continued, that at least 3 players from the NFL Regional Combine would make a Super Bowl since 2013. But since 2013, all the way up to now, there was at least 1 player from the Regional Combine who actually became a Super Bowl champ. Well, thanks to this guy right here, it was ended. So the winning streak for the NFL Regional Combine was ended when the Bucks had won Super Bowl 55. Thanks to this dude and also this dude. Yes, Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator. He did a fantastic job against the Chiefs. But that streak was ended for us, NFL Regional Combine player, to actually walk away with a Super Bowl ring. Now, this all started 2013 when the Seattle Seahawks had won the Super Bowl. There were 3 players on that roster that had walked away with rings that year. And there was tight end Colin Harmon, quarterback B.J. Daniels, and also defensive end Benson Manway, who actually went back to the Seattle Seahawks this year, showing that he's one of those pass rushers that you guys have to watch out for. So they were the 3 that set everything off for the platform. Now, when we look up and fast forward up to last year when the Chiefs hoisted Vince Lombardi for Super Bowl 55, there were 2 players from the NFL Regional Combine who won Super Bowl rings there. And that's starting with starting center Austin Ryder and defensive end Tim Ward. Now, Tim Ward was on IR all last year, so he didn't get a chance to play. But Austin, he was there for the whole ride when he took over the starting position for the center midway through the season. And he was able to lift and Ward to become that NFL champions and get that Super Bowl ring. Now, coming into this matchup here, we looked at knowing that Ryder was going to be in the centerpiece with this matchup. So going into this game, the Chiefs had 3 players, Ryder and Ward, and also rookie linebacker Mike Dana. There would have been 3 players from the Chiefs that would have won Super Bowl rings, but we know that had came at a halt. Ryder and Ward was actually on the verge of becoming the second and third player from the NFL Regional Combine to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Now, Colin Hartman, who was with the tight end, who was with the Seattle Seahawks, he was a member of the New England Patriots the following year on the practice squad, and he earned 2 Super Bowl rings back-to-back. Ward and Ryder was actually going to follow the same suit in being the back-to-back players from the NFL Regional Combine to be able to become Super Bowl champions. Now, in this matchup, Ryder, as we know, had his hands full. He was one of the very few offensive linemen that was healthy to play in Super Bowl 55. Now, he was the first pioneer from the NFL Regional Combine to start a Super Bowl, and he made history as the back-to-back Super Bowls as a starter, a player from the NFL Regional Combine. Now, Ryder had a remarkable season this year. Out of 867 snaps, not once in the entire season, he was hit with a penalty. He didn't have a holding, no false start, nothing. He was perfect in the category for no penalties until the divisional round when they played the Cleveland Browns. He did get caught for holding in that one game, but I believe, hey, just getting caught for just one penalty all season long, that was fantastic. So out of 867 snaps during the regular season, he was not caught for any penalties at all. Now, in this matchup in the Super Bowl 55, he played in all 75 snaps for the offense, and he also participated in 3 special team plays as well. Now, Mike Dana, the rookie linebacker, he played in 19 defensive snaps, making about 28% of the defensive action in Super Bowl 55, and he did register a tackle in this matchup. So he did get his name on the stat books for that. So that was great for his purpose. Now, Ward, although he was on the active roster, he did not play in Super Bowl 55. As a matter of fact, he didn't play a down during none of the postseason run for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not saying this is a bad thing, just finally got his first legs in the NFL in Week 17 when they played the Chargers. That was his first NFL action. So not surprising to see that he did not play in the postseason this year. But next year we look to see number 90, that big 6'4", 270-pound dude on the field. He can play in this league, and the Chief knows that. Now, while one streak ended, another streak had begun. And we're going to talk about this platform here. Yes, the HBCU platform. Now, the HBCU, when you talk about historically black colleges and universities, when we talk about this platform, we know this platform was at one point, was the fabric of the NFL when we're talking about from the 60s and the 70s. But we know they fell off, not all because of their doing, but for the lack of, I would say, will to actually go and see what talented players actually go to these schools. But that's another story for another day. But we're going to talk about a streak that has started for the HBCU, which I am excited about, and we're going to break this down. Now, last year, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, Alex Brown from South Carolina State, he became the first HBCU talent to win a Super Bowl since 2013 when the Seattle Seahawks won that Super Bowl. In that matchup, they had a backup quarterback, Jotarius Jackson, who unfortunately lost his life last April in a car accident. So he was the first HBCU player, Brown that is, to win a Super Bowl ring since Jackson did it in 2013. Now, when we look at this matchup with Super Bowl 55, Brown was still going to be in this game. He did not play. He was on the IR. But the cornerback, Antonio Hamilton, South Carolina State, he was on the roster, and he played in Super Bowl 55. Now, the cool part was that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they had 2 players as well. So unlike the Regional Combine, where they only had a set of players on one team, where the Bucs did not, in this situation, both teams had 2 players from the HBCU platform, knowing that since Brown had won last year, that was going to be a consecutive year that HBCU players was going to be a Super Bowl champion. For the Tampa Bay Bucs, they had Quentin Bell from Prairie View A&M. He was on the practice squad, but still a member of the team. He still would have got a ring. Matter of fact, no, he is going to get a ring either way because he with the Bucs. So he's an NFL champion. And then we look at Ryan Smith from North Carolina Central. He was on that field that night as he played and participated in some snaps in this game. I'm going to get to that, break down how many snaps that he played in this matchup. But both of these guys will walk away, and has walked away as Super Bowl champions. Now, this was the last streak for HBCU players to win Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl in back-to-back years. The first span, the last span of back-to-back years for HBCU players to win a Super Bowl was in 2006 and 2007. In 2006, defensive end Robert Mathis from Alabama A&M, he won a Super Bowl with the Indianapolis Colts. And then the following year, that's when Hall of Famer defensive end Michael Strahan from Texas Southern, he assisted the New York Giants to win that Super Bowl. As we all know, that was the perfect year for the New England Patriots when they won all their games except for that Super Bowl. And Michael Strahan was a part of that miraculous Super Bowl victory for the Giants. So that was the last time there was back-to-back winners from the HBCU process to get Super Bowl rings. Now, Smith and Bell, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they helped make the total of 20 HBCU players to garner Super Bowl rings. First time. So there's 20 players now that we have from the HBCU process who won Super Bowl rings for the HBCU platform. Now, the person that had the most Super Bowl rings from the HBCU process is Mel Blount, the great defensive back Hall of Famer from the Pittsburgh Steelers, when he won a Super Bowl in 75, 76, 79, and 1980. So he had the most rings from the HBCU platform to win Super Bowls for those guys. Win for that community of the HBCU platform. Now, Hamilton in this game played in 28 special team snaps that made up for Hamilton for the Chiefs played in 28 snaps on special teams. That marked up at 89% for the Chiefs, while Smith played in 2 defensive snaps, 3% of the defensive execution for the Bucs, and he played in 21 special team snaps, making that at 78% for the Bucs output for special teams. So both these players was out there on the field doing that thing for both their squads. Now, while one streak ended as far as winners for the HBCU Combine of winning a Super Bowl, at least a streak for those guys still continue with going on with 7 Super Bowl appearances for HBCU for regional Combine players to get to the Super Bowl. Now, not once ever from the HBCU community, from that platform, had 3 consecutive years where this platform was represented with Super Bowl winners. Will there be a chance for the first time in NFL history that HBCU platform will be represented with 3 straight back-to-back Super Bowl champions? I don't see Smith going nowhere, and Quentin Bell is still a project. We're going to wait to see how he's going to be with the Bucs. The Bucs right now are favorite to return to the Super Bowl for Super Bowl 56. We'll see how that play out. The NFL season is very long, but right now, if that was to be, and they get to the Super Bowl, at least we know that it'll be a 3-year streak of getting there. But to actually have 3-year winners for the HBCU platform, that will be something to watch out for. Don't worry, if you guys forget, I'm not going to let you forget. I'm going to be in your ear the whole entire 2021 season following the HBCU platform with these players in the league getting work done on the highest level of football. And these guys are going to do it, and we're going to watch out for many of these guys coming out. Now, okay, the playing season is over. Doesn't mean that the NFL season stopped. And it does not stop this Locker Talk podcast, and definitely nothing on locker-report.com. We're going to bring we're going to evaluate players. We're going to talk about players who would be great candidates for the NFL Regional Combine, and also the HBCU players to watch out for that can play on the highest level. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get in talk to some agents. We're going to talk about, some evaluators coming to the show to talk about how we're going to discover talent this year during this COVID-19 situation the country is still facing. There will be some changes to the process, but it will not stop the process. Not going to stop us here at locker-report.com. It's not going to stop Locker Talk for doing our job and recognizing those talents to get to their dream and play the NFL. I'm your host, Barry Bonds, founder and CEO of Locker-Sport.com. And you guys, please go to the site. Check out the site. See some original content on the NFL that you will not see anywhere across the globe. Nowhere around the globe. Follow me on all of my social handles on Twitter at Locker_Report. On Instagram, LockReport100. On Facebook, LockReport.com. And also Locker Talk Podcast that you will see on there as well. And then, of course, now, if the president told you to come on, man, y'all better come on now. Subscribe to the channel today. Get me higher than that number. Don't worry, it's not 6. It's a lot more than that. But when you go to the site and you subscribe to it, you will see there's a lot more than just 6. And I will update you as the process go on. And also, guys, check me out on the Best News Radio Network Friday mornings at 9 o'clock. Hey, listen, everyone stay blessed. Great season, guys, for the NFL. Regional Combine, guys. Pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. NFL football operations, pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Hey, you guys did a good job in getting these guys out there. Keep up the good work. I'm going to be on the process. Make sure you guys stay locked in. I'm always going to be locked in. You need to be locked in too. Let's get it. Let's go.